Hey, good evening. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, I'm going to do some answers and responses to some of the comments that we've had and questions and remarks. And hope you're ready for this, okay? Alright, so first of all, we've got to be very grateful for all of the prayers and good wishes that we had for Michael, the diabetic boy. In case you haven't seen the recent video, he is now out of hospital. He was discharged. We picked him up, took him home, and while we were there we did a video. And while we were there, our most recent guest is Dwayne, and he was with us and took part in the video. So that's more than one aspect. So what can I say? A lot of information about diabetes from people who are diabetic, from people who are experts on diabetes, a terrific amount of information. So here's the deal, it's not so much about whether a piece of information about diabetes is right, whether it's the established medical way of dealing with it, whether it's a natural thing that may be done, a herbal thing. It's not so much about that. It's whether we can get the family to join in and be responsible enough to help. But the final word always comes from the person themselves, because there's many a person has received a near fatal injury, and in spite of what everybody says, they've recovered because they got the sheer guts to do what has to be done. Now, whether Michael can do this or not is a matter of time and remains to be seen. We hope, we pray, we accept gladly any help in terms of information, prayers, anything at all that will help. We have an angel who is helping Michael, and that is Daryl. Daryl lives on the main island of Cebu, and he is making special trips over to take a ton of stuff to the family, and all of that is helping. Michael is much better. He's taking an interest now in how he looks and has asked for some money for t-shirts and things, and stipulated that they've got to be sleeveless. Well, okay, we are happy to see any improvement. So then some kind people who live on Ilocos, and they said that they enjoyed our videos, and if ever we're on in their part of the world, we are welcome to go and knock on the door, and they would welcome us into their home. Thank you. What's the next thing? Issues with, it looks like issues with fart. I can't read my own writing, so can't really comment on that one. One says one lady who normally writes very positive things said, "Beth, learn housekeeping. Your house is a mess." Here's what I say to you. First of all, I don't welcome any criticisms of my warrior princess. But here's what I say in fairness. Come over here and stay with us and do a couple of days of getting up at 4:30 in the morning, sitting with Beth while she edits up to 10, sometimes up to 18 videos that we have made, and then drive with us to Talabon or to Ubay or to Tagbilaran or wherever it is that we drive. Go to buy a load of mattresses and then take them to these barangays where people are very poor and have been sleeping on the bare boards most of their life, and give those out, and in between scramble a few meals in, and you've left often before daylight. You've slid down that slippy slope that we call our hill, and you've done a full day's work before most people are getting out of bed. Now, when you've done all of that and you've arrived home with Beth at about 8 or 9 o'clock, while Beth is exhausted, because she's not much of a trooper, you know, give her 12 or 16 hours work to do, and at the end of that she's just a flake. So while she's snatching a little bit of time snoozing in front of her favourite television show, you can do the housework, because you'll be right up to it. I know, won't you? You'll be rushing around dusting things and making things all so wonderfully house kept. I don't think so, my dear. I don't think so. So the other one is teach Beth to speak English. Oh boy. Teach Beth to drive. The other one was, I like this one, it said, maybe if Beth was driving, the road wouldn't give out. I like that. What's the other one? Made in China. Somebody said everything's made in China now. It just reminded me of a comedian in the States, and he was talking about a Chinese immigrant coming over to America and going round to somewhere like Home Depot, and he'd be walking along the different shelves and say, here's a Chinese girl. He's going, oh, I made that. I made that. Oh, I made that. So, yeah, everything is made in China. The other one of the solutions, one of the many solutions on our road problem is call AAA. Thank you, I like that one. So, some solutions to the road was... Somebody said when we had that little thing where one of the wheels, the road collapsed under that, and we had to get help to shore it up. It says, was Beth playing with your ear? So now, oh, I have to say that one as well. Somebody looked at one of the old videos and said, oh, I'm laughing out loud. I can't stop laughing. You're wearing shoes in a waterlogged rice field. Well, yeah, sorry, I can't do the barefoot thing. Filipinos are walking barefoot all of their lives, from being little kids right up to Beth, who did her little running charity to get a young man a bike, and she raised the money for that, and she did the running about, I don't know, a mile or 2 miles behind the truck when it was dry. She did it barefoot, and I can't do it. So what did I do? When I was trying my hand at the plough pulling behind a carabao, I kept my boots on. Sorry, I'm not Iron Man. I kept my boots on. So what's the other thing? One of the things we get quite a few questions. Can we have Jessica on the thing again, on the program again, or doing something or again? She was very popular. Well, she's not actually living with us on our hill now. She's living somewhere down near the school. It's very convenient for the kids, and the children go to school. It's very convenient. And right now her boyfriend is there, and she's kind of busy with her boyfriend. Now, what's the other one? Nisa. Every so often Nisa comes up. She's like a ghost. She just keeps... If you've heard that folk tale here about the White Lady, she is our White Lady. She keeps coming up and haunting us. I can only give you what I've been told. I did see her. She was made up. she's still kind of stooped over, but then unless she's had the surgery, then I don't think that that's going to change. With the best will in the world and having her past to say that she's already healed, I think that eventually there will come a crisis, and unfortunately it will have to be handled. We nearly got there, except for the night before she said no, and then the next day you probably have seen that video where we all got a little bit frustrated and said, well, yeah, okay, that's your decision, we'll have to respect it. We kept on taking the medication down to her and a little bit of money that was left over, but several of the people that subscribed to our channel withdrew their help because they didn't feel so good about what happened. They didn't withdraw their help from us, by the way. They are still staunch supporters. So yes, I heard through people, it's a very small community and the jungle drums tell everything, and I did hear that she had a boyfriend, a foreign boyfriend, I think from the UK, I'm not quite sure, can't quote me on any of this, and that things were going quite well. And then I heard, and still unsubstantiated, I heard that quit for some reason which I can't even hazard a guess on. So that was what happened there. We had several comments, judgments, all kinds of stuff was made about the guy Mitch, the Romanian from Australia, who is now in the Philippines and with very big plans and working very hard. We had lots of comments about him. He's a man of his own decisions. He keeps his own counsel. You can't tell him how he should go. He's had, I understand, a great measure of success in Australia, and he's here now and he's got his plans, and we went there yesterday. He is working hard at doing those. So it's all a matter of opinion, it's all a matter of wait and see who does what, how successful they are, were they right, were they wrong, were we right, were we wrong. But here's the bottom line on most of the things that we say. Somebody said, I like this because it was so passionate, for God's sake, people, nobody said that Mr. T is an expert on relationships. I like that. And of course, I'm not an expert, never said that I was an expert, I just offer my opinion. That's all any of us can do. The bottom line is that even some of the most scientifically proved facts are, we will find out, just opinion. Okay, so that's all for this. Hope that it has, at least in some part, produced a smile. It certainly did. I don't laugh at anything that any of our subscribers do, because I appreciate that it takes time to put pen to paper, finger to the keyboard and make a comment. You have to think about what you want to say, and you say it and you offer, guess what, your opinion, and they are gratefully accepted. Thank you. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. You take care.